What is up, y'all? Podcast. I apologize, everyone. I have been in absence, but due to Corona and schoolwork, I got a lot of things going on. But anyways, I would like to welcome a new guest for today. We got my boy Matt Haney. What's up, Matt?
What's
There
up,
he is.
Tyler?
All right.
Yep. Like
But
this for a
as
minute.
you can tell, he's a pretty big Steelers fan. He's
Yeah.
repping it pretty hard. You can see the pennant, his chair. It's a little intense, but let's give them good luck for the season as they try and win their division at least. But we'll see how that takes. Anyways, all right. So this episode we're gonna do some free agency. Unfortunately, Corona has plagued pretty much all sports. So we have nothing else to talk about except for transactions of franchises. And I tried to go chronological for you guys, but basically things kicked off. Excuse me. Basically things kicked off with a splash in the D Hop trade. Um, I thought it was crazy, but I want to hear Matt's opinion on what Arizona and Houston got out of that.
I think it makes absolutely no damn sense why they would just trade him away for, like, who do I hear? Somebody said it for a ham sandwich. Like, that was ridiculous. They got nothing out of that. They got a beat up running back out of that, and they just traded one of the best receivers in the league for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was pretty dumb. I heard some conspiracies or whatever you want to call it about Bill O'Brien like having this like disrespectful meeting with D Hop before he traded him.
I did hear
don't
about
know
that.
if that's
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty like dumb in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. David Johnson is pretty washed up as what I've seen. I can't remember what rounds the picks were in, but it was D Hop for David Johnson at this stage didn't really make much sense. Even if the Texans did get a better pick, Johnson's been kind of injury prone and not really steady, as I believe Kenyon Drake even stole his job this year. So
yeah, and that's who they put the tag on, which like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they will look for like a second string running back that maybe they'll split carries, but even Kenyon Drake is inconsistent. I don't know why they rely on him right now, but
no, he's not like a RB1 you would call. So that's fair enough. Anyways, next up we got I decided to combine Dolphins and Chargers because I do think so far they've been two of the best teams of making the smartest, most efficient moves in free agency. First off, I'm gonna say the Dolphins because they got both Byron Jones and Kyle Van Noy, I believe, in one day. But I want to hear what Matt has to think about Dolphins and their acquisitions.
So you just said Van Noy and who was the other one?
Byron Jones, the old Cowboys cornerback.
Oh yeah. And that's not even, like they got a whole ton more I'm looking at. They got a lineman, Eric Flowers, he's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Shaq Lawson's not too bad.
He's all right. Yeah, he's solid too.
So yeah, that's four guys that are big names, and they even got Jordan Howard as a little running back for them. So
yeah,
I think they're doing pretty good right now, and the division's wide open right now with Brady leaving. So
yeah,
it's fair game in that division. No more Patriots running that house. So I think it's pretty good.
And if Fitzmagic can sparkle some magic, then they can win some games. But I mean, I think they'll be all right. They got some pieces. I mean, Devontae Parker shows signs of being a wide receiver one, especially against the Eagles when he played them. So, yeah, we'll see how they go. They were the clown of the NFL when season began, and now they proved us wrong. They ended up 7-9, I believe, right?
No, I don't think it was that high, but they were slightly impressive at the end of the season. Maybe, I will say that.
True. Anyway, so whatever they were, good for them. Also, so moving on to the Chargers now, they've I think been very sneaky so far because they picked up Brian Bulaga, Packers veteran offensive lineman, Linval Joseph, a Vikings solid big Vikings defensive lineman, and Chris Harris Jr., who's been a solid seasoned vet. He's been a great player for Denver. What do you have to say? I think about Chargers making moves.
I think those are decent moves, but as I've said before and will say again, they do not have a legitimate quarterback. That will ultimately kill them unless they do upgrade that spot. Yeah, their defense last year, I mean, they lost Derwin James early, but
yeah,
I mean, this will help them out a little bit maybe.
right.
But I do, and now they lost Gordon, so like,
Their offense gonna be.
And their division is, what is it? Who's in it?
AFC West, so it includes the Chiefs, Broncos, and Raiders. So.
I mean, you're still fighting with the Chiefs. Now there's an extra playoff spot. Maybe you're talking about
a wild
playoff,
card.
like,
They won't win the division, but
no, not the division, but
with the new wild card,
yeah.
they might have a shot. So, all right. Anyways, moving on. Speaking of the Chargers, let's go to our man, short-tempered, crazy man, 7 kids, 25,000 kids, Philip Rivers, going to Indy where the combine's hosted every year. What do you think about Indy moving? No more Jacoby.
I think that's pretty good for the Colts. Pretty good for Philip. T.Y. Hilton has been screwed over almost with Luck retiring, Luck being injured.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's at least top 15, top 10 receiver.
Yeah.
Now he has somebody throwing the ball. Yeah, it's 1 year, but I think that things are going in the right direction for them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you can take it one game at a time, they have a solid offense and so a solid defense. Darius Leonard and who's the other rookie offensive? Darius Leonard and Quentin Nelson are both pretty good young stars. So they have potential. I'm not gonna lie, they do. See how Philip decides to carry that team. Next up, we got Teddy Bridgewater, who's been up and down career, honestly. He was hot with the Vikes, didn't do anything with the Saints, but now Carolina is going to make him their most likely starting quarterback. What do you think? How's that Carolina going to help him?
I think I see him. I think he will have good games, but I think he will struggle because his numbers do show he's like, I believe it's like 21-6 or 7 as a starter, which are impressive numbers and shows that he can win games.
Yeah.
But I think this is the least talented offense he's been with out of all the teams that he has played on.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's going to be a challenge for him, and it will show if he is playing on this level or not. So.
And so 2 questions. First off is, do you think he will be better than Cam for Carolina?
No. Well, do you mean like at Cam's best that he's played, or like last year, 2 years?
Can you predicting what if Cam were to start for Carolina next year, who would do better in the situation now? If Cam were to start next year for Carolina,
I think Bridgewater will make them better, and I think they will help him out more. I think they switched up the coaching staff a little bit. So, yeah, I do think that they will do better with Bridgewater. But I don't think that they will be any type of threat.
Right. So, even if Bridgewater is better, my other question was, their defense is pretty atrocious after losing Kuechly. I don't know what kind of playmakers they have on the defense. So, even with Bridgewater, do you still think the Panthers will be a solid team?
No, because I'm looking at it right now. They lost, what's his name, Bradbury to the Giants, and they lost Gerald McCoy. So those are 2 decent guys that they lost. They're gonna have to fill that hole somehow. Don't know how, but they're gonna have to figure it out if they want to win games.
Right. That's true. And they didn't do too well this year, but they have one of the best running backs in the league, especially in fantasy. So, they got new Matt Rule's their head coach this year, right? Baylor.
Oh yeah, that's where I think that's like the turning point. It's not whoever the weapons are, but I think he will turn the team around as he's done with previous teams. True,
yeah. We'll see what happens with Carolina. Next up, we got Darius Slay, otherwise known as Big Play Slay, leaving Detroit and heading to Philly. He is I rank him as a top 5, maybe top 3 at this point, cornerback in the NFL. He's been producing. He's a 3-time Pro Bowl selection. I believe he has over 100 games played and over 100 pass deflections. He is an animal on and off the field. I've always liked him even before he came to Philly. But what do you think will he provide to Philly? What will he bring to them?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Top 3, top 5. This was an excellent pickup for the Eagles. I hate to say it, but yeah, you did good on this one. This is exactly what you needed for just like this was your number one spot you needed to fill. I was sitting the first couple of days. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? Why aren't y'all picking up a cornerback? Y'all make this trade decent. He's like 29, so you don't have to really worry that much. You'll get a couple years out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he still will be a great athlete. But yeah, even I was watching like his best plays or whatever, and I noticed that a lot of his interceptions are second half or like clutch game situations,
right.
which the Eagles get in a lot of close games where they need that little push at the end, and I think he will help them out with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, great pickup.
Yeah, the Eagles are desperate for a defensive back anyway, so I guess that's kind of what they needed. What the doctor asked for, I guess. Moving on, Todd Gurley. Now, the Rams did release him. I was like, he's got bad knees. He's had bad knee problems in his career. But I don't know why they have a solid offense, the Rams, by the way, without him. They got a okay quarterback, good receiving core. But I really like how Atlanta played this because they got rid of Devontae Freeman, who I thought was solid. But for Atlanta to bring him back to Georgia as he was a University of Georgia grad, I think that is a smooth move, and I want to hear your take on Todd Gurley to Atlanta.
So when I saw him get released, I was like, "Whoa, what is going on?" They are in a tough division. That division used to be nothing a couple years ago, and now it is like
right.
every team now is definitely a contender.
Oh, exactly.
And then I realized it more. I'm not surprised with his big contract, and that really, just talking about his contract and how it is translating to the other running backs in the league, that kind of screws their their market up for if they want to sign big deals. Le'Veon Bell skipped out that year, got less money, isn't playing as good as he used to. Melvin Gordon sat out, isn't playing as good as he used to, and did not get the money that he wanted. Gurley got his money, was only good for another year, got injured, didn't really do much, and now he's on another team playing for less money. Do I think he's gonna be good still? I think he can pump out a year or two where he's putting up big numbers, but I don't think he's ever gonna get the money that he was worth or wants.
Right.
In Atlanta, I think it's good. I think it'll definitely make their team a lot better. Devontae Freeman was very injury prone. Didn't he had his good couple years and then down it went. I don't know, but very interesting. I'm excited to see how they do with him.
Yeah, I think they'll benefit off him. I mean, I know. Yes, like I said before, he has his knee problems, but it's a solid piece for them as they have a receiver, they have an okay quarterback, and they got an alright defense. But we'll see how that goes for Atlanta Falcons. Anyways, moving on, we got I think as you said in the last free agent of Todd Gurley. Well, now Falcon, Melvin Gordon. I think I heard you mention he's going to the Broncos. He said he had problems with money, which he did. But do you think it's good for the Broncos?
I don't know how this is gonna how much better this is gonna make them, because this is the division where they have the Raiders, the Chiefs, and the Chargers.
Exactly.
So they have Lindsey, and do they still have Royce Freeman? Because him and Lindsey were splitting carries to begin with.
Yeah,
that's
and
another
Devontae
question.
Booker too, I think Devontae Booker is an okay running back. I think he also is on the roster as well. So they have 3 solid running backs.
Yeah, right. So he's getting $8 million a year, 2 years, $60 million. That's not what it looked like he wanted before. That's what he's gonna get. Yeah, I don't really know how this is gonna benefit the Broncos unless he does prove himself and earn more carries than Lindsey.
Yeah, I do. I think he's a better player than Lindsey, but it didn't make sense for the Broncos to really get him when running back was probably the least of their need on offense.
Definitely.
I mean, I believe Noah Fant at tight end and Cortland Sutton's already at the receiver. But they lost to Chris Harris, and Aqib Talib's been gone. Von Miller's like the only thing they have really on defense that's above
just Von
average.
Miller's holding it down, and
Yeah.
it looks like they're gonna put all their trust into Drew Lock. So
I would not if I was a franchise, but that's just me.
That's what it's looking like, but I think they need some bigger weapons than that if they're gonna cash out.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so before we move on to our final free agency move, I want to hear about your. It appears like you kind of like this team, but I want to hear about what you say about these guys in the yellow and red and blue and whatever colors you guys consider.
So, as you know, we just missed the playoffs by that much.
I do.
Very heartbreaking, but they played their asses off for how much they've been down this whole season.
Oh, for sure.
And so we started off with the franchise tag on Bud Dupree. Mm-hmm. He balled out this season.
He did.
I think he can ball out again. At least he better ball out with that franchise tag, or else I'm gonna be pretty pissed off. And we decided to not sign Hargrave again, which is kind of. I mean, he's a great player. We just unfortunately did not have the money for him that he wanted. Right. And then we signed, what's his name? Steven Wisniewski or something like that.
Yeah, guard for the Chiefs or something. Right.
Big, very big. I think he's like 300-pounder. He's very physical. He allowed 0 sacks this last season.
Really?
So, yeah, that's what I've heard.
Jeez.
So, apparently he's like a Pittsburgh native. I think he went to college there. Okay. So, it's like a big homecoming for him. Hopefully he'll ball out. We just lost Ramon Foster to retirement, so that's a big hole that he filled, which I'm very excited for. And then we also got Derek Watt, which was another kind of, I know nobody really follows the team and how close it is, but our fullback Roosevelt Nix, who's a pretty solid dude, was injured most of the last season, so we didn't really have help with blocking that much. We had to have 6 linemen on the field with what's his name? Banner. So it was like that's a fun dude to watch, but like definitely it's gonna make this offense a little bit more different. And then of course now we got Eric Ebron, which is, I think it was a pretty good pickup.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are saying that we should get receivers, but I think we got Juju, Deontay, James Washington.
Right, Washington. Yeah.
They're probably gonna draft a receiver this year, but we definitely need a tight end because Vance McDonald's like 30s. He's still good.
Did for him against Tampa Bay, was it right? Or something?
Yep. So I still think he's a good player. He's just injury prone. We didn't have anybody behind him. That was another problem with the offense. So this is a good 1-2 punch at the tight end position in the red zone, especially for Ben Roethlisberger when he comes back.
Ooh, forgot about him too. So you got Connor coming back, right? Connor should come back, I believe.
Yeah, that's another issue too, which I mean Benny Snell showed some somewhat promising potential, but as long as he stays healthy, I think they can reach the playoffs, especially with this new 3rd spot.
Yeah, seriously. All right, good stuff for y'all. And as we wanted to wrap up, I'm sure most people that follow football, if you didn't know about any free agency move, you at least knew about this one. And this is the man, the myth, and I unfortunately have to call him the legend, even though I pretty much hate his guts. Tom Brady, sun-kissing quarterback of the now Tampa Bay Buccaneers? What? Tampa Bay?
Incredible.
Why not LA or like Vegas where you can bet some big bucks? It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, bro. What do you think about that?
So I'll just go from like start to finish with all the rumors and now where he's at now. I first saw like even like right after the season, like or even before the season, they're like, is Brady gonna come back? I'm like, there's no way. Like he's gonna stay here. They're gonna keep winning. Like I never imagined him leaving or going anywhere until he was like 50 years old. So then when the season was over, I was like, all right, they ended on a bad note. Maybe he will go. And then I saw officially he was not going to go back. I was like, wow. I was stunned. I had no idea where he was going to go. And then I saw Tampa, and I was like, this is weird. Like, something happened. Somebody, like, there was talk about the Titans, which I wasn't really sure about either. But Tampa Bay was just even weirder. And now to picture him in that jersey, like, it just makes you want to throw up. Like, I'd rather see him there than the Patriots. But, like,
for sure,
it's going to be weird. Just to break down how the Bucs are going to be with him, I think they're because they're in the NFC. The NFC is kind of tough, but I think they will either have that last third spot or they will be pushing for that because they have a quarterback. Running back is where they need to upgrade immediately. I thought they would maybe take a chance at getting Gurley if they could get him for a cheap price, which they didn't, unfortunately. But I think that they definitely will need to upgrade that running back spot because what's his name? Jones. Ronald Jones, I think.
Ron Jones, yeah.
He's like a running back 3, not even 2. Not really special. I mean, Brady has shown that he made players better. Like James White, he's probably going to be garbage without him now. But that's something that could happen. And then the wide receivers, like he's like last year he had like nothing as weapons. This year he's got Evans, which is like the tallest receiver he's ever thrown to, which is going to be crazy to think about. I think Godwin's a hell of a player, and who knows if Godwin's going to give up his number to him or not. But those are two good guys. They still got O.J. Howard, which I think is a great player. He just never had somebody to throw him the damn ball to. So that's potential there. I think they still have Cameron Brate, who is a pretty decent pass catcher too.
Yeah, they do. I think.
Their O-line is mediocre, which maybe is something to worry about with Brady getting hit. I don't think it will be that big of a problem, but I also heard that there's a lot of buzz going around that now he's signed there, that other free agents are interested in playing for obviously one of the greatest players. They want to be around him. And then the rest of the team, like the defense is all right. I mean, Shaq Barrett's is a force to be reckoned with at the line. Devin White too. Their cornerbacks are mediocre, but that's the only thing that's going to hurt them if they don't upgrade that in the draft or the rest of free agency.
Yeah. Just to clear up real quick, I did hear you say you don't know why Tennessee, but I do think it was because Vrabel used to be his coordinator, I believe.
Yeah, I heard stuff about that and that they were like FaceTiming or whatever before this happened.
Yeah, they actually were, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, nevertheless, he is a Buck. Jolly Roger. Alrighty. Matthew, thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Yep.
And, man, we'll catch you later. For the rest, deuces.